I came out for a vacation today. I knew there were big luxurious houses to stay in, but I chose to sleep on a broken wooden boat instead. I even picked up a bunch of empty bottles and alcohol myself, and made them into simple Molotov cocktails, because I knew all too well, a swarm of rats would definitely attack tonight. If we didn't prepare in advance, we would all die. And the reason I knew so much was because I came back from the dead. In my previous life, we were attacked by rats in the mountains back. Then I didn't run away alone. Instead, I let my girlfriend climb up by stepping on my back, but I never expected she and my best friend had planned it all before I could climb up. They pushed me down with their own hands. I was torn apart by the rats, and became their feast. But the next second I suddenly woke up and found myself back on the day we entered the mountains. I immediately realized this was fate giving me a second chance. When we arrived at the silent village, I saw rats scurrying by my feet. Instantly knew the rat infestation was real to avoid repeating the tragedy. I urged everyone to go down the mountain at once, but no one believed my warning. My best friend even mocked me in public, saying I watched too many disaster movies. Even my girlfriend looked at me with disdain. Just then, a grumpy villager showed up, trying to kick us out. Thankfully, a kind woman appeared with her daughter. She invited us to stay at her home. The little girl told us to ignore the angry man after entering the village. Looked up and saw cured meat hanging from the beam, exactly the same as in my past life. I knew deep down, if I did nothing again, we would all be doomed. So just as the woman stepped forward to take the meat, I suddenly reached out and stopped her, warning her the beam was about to fall. Sure enough, moments later the beam crashed down. Dust flew everywhere. The woman turned pale with fright. If I hadn't stopped her, her legs would have been crushed. From that moment on, she chose to believe me. She even invited me to sleep in her room, but I politely declined and asked her instead if there was a lake in the village and if a wooden boat was still floating on it. The woman said the boat was in the woods, but it was moldy and broken, not suitable for living. I was overjoyed when I heard that and asked her to take me there right away. After finding the boat, I asked her to help me find bottles and fuel. She kept asking what they were for. I told her, when the rats attack, these Molotovs would be our only lifeline. But before I finished speaking, a sudden scream came from the village and everything around us went dark. I quickly pulled out my phone to check the time. My heart sank. I realized the rats had bitten through the power lines. The woman thought of her daughter still in the village and ran back without hesitation. I immediately chased after her. Luckily, the little girl wasn't hurt, but the rat swarm had already begun to stir. I grabbed the mother and daughter and ran toward the boat, but on the way, I ran into my girlfriend and best friend. They came out of a house in disheveled clothes. I wasn't surprised at all, because I had already known about their betrayal. Still out of instinct, I warned them the rats were coming and invited them to take shelter on the boat. But not only did they not believe me, they even shouted for the rats to come out quickly. My girlfriend's yelling completely attracted the rats hiding in the grass. My heart tightened. I rushed off with the mother and daughter and finally made it back to the boat. Then I raised the binoculars and saw my girlfriend and best friend still flirting in place, totally unaware that death was near. Even more ridiculous, my best friend took out his phone to take pictures, trying to mock me, but just